Interviewer made a comment about my facial expressions. I have Tourette's. Sorry if this is in the wrong sub. I am feeling so down about what happened and don't know what to ask exactly. Edit. I just posted and see how very long this post is. Sorry in advance and thank you to those of you who make it through. Some background. I have Tourette's and OCD. It's actually Tourettic OCD, where my compulsions are, in addition to other actions and mental activities, muscular tics. A lot of these are on my face. I have had this since I was about 10 years old and have gotten very adept at hiding them. The tics come and go and change sometimes. If there's a really extreme one, I can usually suppress it so it is very slight. Or I can basically adopt a new tic and stop focusing so much on the other, more embarrassing tic. The tics still happen, but it is very restrained and I usually do it when someone has looked away. Some of the tics I have now are eye blinking, eye movement, eyebrow arching and furrowing, and grimacing with my mouth. Most people have no idea I suffer from this because I have gotten so good at hiding it. If I tell someone about it, they can pay attention and see the little lapses I have pretty often, but I don't think most people would give it a second thought if they didn't know to look for it. I am very proud of myself for having been able to restrain my tics so much. There is no cure for Tourette's, so I have to live with it. One thing that is very hard is that I am always in conscious control of my facial muscles. Other people, I imagine, don't even remember their faces regularly, if that makes sense. I'm always thinking about my face. Don't grimace yet, he's looking. Don't blink too hard many times in a row. Don't furrow your brows while they're talking to you. Hold on until they look away. It's mentally exhausting. I had an interview yesterday. I think it went well. They have tons of applicants, so I can't say I feel 100% that I got the job, but I know I would do a good job, and I think I performed well in the interview. There were 3 rounds. The first was with the manager, the second was with 2 people on the team I would be working with, and the third was with another person, Albert 20's MA, on the team, as well as Jake 40's MA, a manager of a closely related team who was helping Jake conduct interviews. Jake was very funny and easy to talk to, and Albert was very sweet and also easy to talk to. The third round was going very well. We were all laughing a lot, talking about our backgrounds and discussing my skills and application. I had a lot of questions and we were all getting along great. One of the questions I always ask in interviews is something along the lines of, is there anything in my candidature that gives you worry compared to other applicants? And is there anything I can clarify to assuage a doubt you might have? Jake was thinking long and hard, hands behind his head, the works. He then said, you need to be mindful of your facial expressions. You're like me in that your eyes and you face relay a lot about what's going on in your head. Albert did one small nod, but I don't know if that's because he agreed or was just participating in the conversation. I was pretty shocked because I've never heard that about myself from anyone. I have been so proud of myself for suppressing my tics. I thanked him for his input and said, I hope I'm not being too personal, but I actually have Tourette's and many of my tics are centralized on my face. Jake then said, No, it's not tics, it's everything. Your eyes, your eyebrows, your mouth. I don't mean to insult you, but since you asked, I think it would be useful for you to know. I used to suffer from the same thing. I was still kind of shocked and said, I'm so sorry, but the tics are even with my eyebrows and my entire face. I'm sorry if I gave the impression I was ever uninterested or anything but happy to be here. Jake replied that he knows it's a nervous setting. I'm probably not always like that, but I should be relaxed and smile. Since I had asked, he thought he should give me an honest answer. Please note that throughout all this, I remained in an upbeat mood and to the best of my knowledge, didn't display how awful I felt. I said with another smile, you know, I thought I was smiling a lot this interview. Then Albert said, yeah, I actually noticed how much you were smiling. Okay, so basically that happened and I was floored. I thanked Jake several times for his input and said that I was grateful to get a rare, honest opinion. Thankfully, the interview was coming to an end then. I shook their hands, thanked them again, and Albert walked me down to the entryway. He was supposed to escort me out, but I asked where the restroom was, so he told me where to go and how to leave when I was out. I got to the bathroom and was trying not to break down. I was in the stall saying, but please not now, please not now, please not now. But, of course, I started crying some. I was able to dry off my face and wait for an Uber to come. By some miracle, I got an incredible Uber driver who was a minister. He saw I was upset and at first thought it was just an interview gone wrong, but since I couldn't stop the tears from falling, I just told him what happened. He was so kind and prayed for me, said it was God's work that he and I met at this moment. He made me feel better in the moment. When I got home, I just broke down again. I don't know what exactly I'm asking for. Words of wisdom, advice on how to grab life by the horns and not let this bring me down too much. I am now constantly doubting myself. Do other people think I have some attitude but just don't say anything? Am I screwing myself over in job interviews? What can I do? My Uber driver said I should embrace my tics and not suppress them since they're part of who I am. I wish I could do that, but I'm not confident enough at this stage. Regardless of how it should be, I know that going into a job interview and making weird movements with my eyebrows and grimacing and jerking my leg will not give the right impression. I am really smart and a great worker. I am pretty, and I am friendly and happy. I just don't know what to do. I felt like everything I've worked for was just brought down. I'm tearing up writing this now. Has anyone ever been through anything like this? Please help. Thank you. TLDR, I have Tourette's. Interviewer thought I was being overly expressive and showing my emotions too clearly, when in fact I was trying really hard just to repress my tics. I feel humiliated and like I'll never be on an even playing field. Update. Hi everyone. Wanted to give an update to my last post. Thank you so much to all of you who commented. You really helped me get some perspective. Looking back, I was probably overreacting some because it was so personal to me. Before I do the update, a lot of people mentioned that they weren't aware of how Tourette's can manifest itself. I also got some PMs about it, so here is just a bit more information. Basically, to be qualified for Tourette's, you have to have multiple tics, both motor and vocal. Funnily enough, although I had tics since around middle school, I only learned about Tourette's through watching a South Park episode about it in my first year of college. So if you are interested in learning more, they give a great overview of the disorder, and also laughing a lot, I recommend you watch S11E08 of South Park, Le Petit Tourette. So on to the update. I had my interview on Tuesday when I made my post. On Friday afternoon, I got a call from HR. She asked me how the interview went. I wondered if something had been mentioned, so I said it went well except for this one awkward exchange, and I explained briefly what happened. She said she was sorry to hear about the unpleasantness, but she was calling to let me know that every person I had met with had great things to say about me, and they unanimously voted to give me an offer. So I got the job. It was a good offer with nice benefits. It's not my dream job though, and I was actually in the later stages with another position that I really wanted. I asked them if I could have a week to respond. They said yes. Yesterday, I got a call from this second company, and they gave me an offer too. The offer was a ton more money than the first one, like over 30% more. It's the exact position I have been looking for months, and it's right by the beach. I of course accepted. I am ecstatic and will find a new apartment and start the new job in June, which is after my May wedding. Thank you again for your kind words. I appreciate it. Feel free to PM me if you have any more questions about Tourette's. TLDR. I got the job I had the awkward interview for. I got a great offer from another company with my dream job, which I accepted. I'll be making lots more money, living at the beach, and getting married in less than a month. Guy I'm seeing constantly talks in a baby voice, so I, 27F, met this guy, 29Nims on a dating app, and have hung out about 5 times now. He's very attractive, like has a six-pack and very fit, even though I don't normally seek out guys this fit, but anyways. I generally enjoy hanging out with him except for one thing, he is constantly talking in a baby voice. The first time we hung out, we went to dinner, and there was no baby voice until we went back to his place, and he got very snuggly and would occasionally say stuff or sounds in a baby voice way. The third time we hung out, he came to my place and he met my cat. He used the baby voice a lot around the cat and while talking about the cat, but I kind of brushed it off because that's pretty normal, I guess, when you see cute animals. He said stuff mostly like, "Ooh, what a handsome man, such a cute little guy," etc. So it wasn't too bad. The fourth time we hung out again at my place, and the baby voice was much more prevalent. I'd say he used it about 50% of the time he said anything, not even related to the cat or anything. At this point, I was like, okay, this is getting odd. When we were messing around, he was a little too rough, and I told him to be a little gentler, and he said stuff in his baby voice like, "Oh my goodness," and I be gentle. Weird. So last night was the 5th time we hung out, and the baby voice is really irking me. He used it about 75% of the time, even when hooking up. After we were done once, he asked me if I orgasmed, which I did, and I said yes. And he said, "Yay," in a baby voice. Then I said I did twice, actually, and he said in his baby voice, and I quote, "Am I a big boy?" WTF. I kind of laughed awkwardly and was like, yeah, I guess. It was so weird and such a turnoff, like who says that? So I think I need to break it off with this guy because it's just getting weird at this point. How should I go about it in a nice way? Or should I bring up his baby voice and ask him to tone it down? Is this as weird as I think it is? TLDR. Hot guy talking in a baby voice is turning me off, edit. Talk to him and posted update on my profile update. Alright guys, I have a little update for y'all. It won't let me link the old post, so just go on my profile. I was getting very concerned about him having a mommy little fetish, as most of you suggested, and worked up the courage to talk to him. Well, text him since typing this stuff out helps me articulate what I like to say better. Here's how it went. Me. Hey, there's been something on my mind. Can I talk to you about it? Him. Yeah, what's up? Me. I've noticed that you have been talking in a baby voice quite often, and I'm wondering if you notice it, or if it's something you didn't realize you were doing. I'm not trying to be mean or confrontational, but it makes me a little uncomfortable, especially when we have sex, and I'd rather just be honest about my feelings than keep it to myself. Him. Huh? Lol, next time show me this noise and I'll cut it out. Me, giving him the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I figured you didn't realize it, next time I'll point it out, lol. Then he called me and basically was like, yeah, next time I do it, just bop me on the head because I didn't realize I was doing it, and I asked him if it could possibly be a sexual thing or fetish, kink related, and that I wouldn't judge him if it were. He said no, that he loved his mom, but not like that, lol. He also went on to say that he used to work the night shift for several months and has been taking Xanax melatonin at night to help him sleep now that he works a normal day shift, and that could possibly be making him loopy. We've only really ever hung out at night, so that could be a possibility. I enjoy spending time with him and generally give people the benefit of the doubt, so we are going to hang out this week and see how it goes, and I'll update y'all later. Update 2, small update, the guy I'm seeing constantly talks in a baby voice. Okay, so I deleted my original post and the update because I was super paranoid that he'd see maybe I was blowing things out of proportion, but after an attempt to clear things up today, I'm even more suspicious. Granted, it could honestly just be something innocent and he thinks it's cute funny instead of it being like a fetish. Anyways, here is my original post and update, and I'll post the smaller newest update at the end. Today's update. So we've been texting since this morning, and I wanted to kind of clear things up and express my Xanax concerns, but now I'm like almost 100% sure he made up that excuse because he was embarrassed that I called him out on the baby voice. So here's our convo. Also want to add that he's training for like an intense triathlon type thing. Him sends pic of his sleep tracker that says he got 11 hours of sleep. Wow, wow. Me. That melatonin is putting in work. Him. It sure did its job last night. Me. So do you take Xanax melatonin every night? Him. For the past 2 months, yeah. I don't take melatonin, it doesn't really do anything. Me. So just Xanax? Him. Yeah, but it's actually working, so after the race, I'm just gonna take it as needed. You can't take that stuff forever. Me. Yeah, I was about to say it's bad to take it for a long time, so it's making you loopy? Him. I'm just using this to fix my circadian rhythm. Sleep is really important, in my non-board certified medical opinion. I mean, it depends on a lot of factors, how much I've eaten, if I'm tired, etc. But yeah, sometimes. Me. Interesting. Well, IDK, if we should be hooking up if you're taking meds that mess with you like that BC that kind of blurs the lines on consent, you know? Him. I mean, I don't want you to feel like you're taking advantage of me, because you're not. And 2, I don't have to take the medication, it's just a sleep aid. Me. Yeah, I know, but if it's making you loopy, talk a certain way, then that's kind of concerning, you know? Him. Well, I totally shouldn't have drank on him. I will say that. I mean, I'm just taking a Xanax derivative for a short term to fix my sleep schedule. It's not like I'm taking some antipsychotic. Me. Yeah, it's really bad to drink on them. And okay, well, I just haven't heard of Xanax being prescribed for sleep, but I'm just cautious, BC. I have a friend who had problems with Xanax. Him. It's not Xanax, but it is a benzodiazepine. Me. Okay, and that's the end of our convo as of now. At this point, I'm just super curious as to if he actually has a fetish or if it's something just innocent and he's embarrassed, so it's just a very odd situation. I would really like to get to the bottom of this and planning on seeing him Wednesday night to discuss things further, unless something happens between now and then. We'll keep updated.